Ugh! Why did they have to do that? What the f? Can you close your mouth real quick, bro, though? Like, for real, though. Close your mouth with devoured Karen. First of all, if y'all were gonna eat humans, why are y'all eating children? They have no beat. Head to America, bruh. We got the meats. No Arby's. Now we start. Yo, real talk, it is cold. Before we start, I gotta say it's cold. If you guys don't know, in the colonized, stolen lands, the Turtle Island, now it's called America, there's snowstorms, bro. In the middle of the South, bruh. Yeah, this weekend is terrible. I'm just now recording this video. Hey, well, we're kind of consistent because in Tiny Bunny, it's also cold. So, hey. Yeah, it's like 11 degrees right now. It's crazy. That's why I got my Snuggie. I call this the Snuggie, bro. You just got to get the Snuggie on. Just got to get a little warm. I got my heater, you know what I'm saying? I got my water, you know what I'm saying? Peace and greetings. Welcome to the community. All right, I know it's been 2 weeks. I explained it in the community post. If you're not hip to that, that's where I directly talk to you, okay? So just be out on the community post section of the channel if you really want to know what I'm trying to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we on. That's the whole vibe of posts, is what we on right now. I'm telling you what we on. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Tiny Bunny videos going crazy, but I not gonna lie, like the first week back of the new year, got bombarded with OT, bruh. You know what that stands for? You know ball, bruh. I just gotta say that it is. I've been working, so I haven't had time to like lock in on YouTube, unfortunately. Hold on. Speaking of locking in. All right, sorry, I had to lock in. That's locking in right there, my boy, locking in. Guys, I want to say I've been enjoying the Tiny Bunny content. It's been great. The community, as hectic as it is with Tiny Bunny's quote-unquote downfall, I've been enjoying it, but we need to take a break, bro. Back to back, I've dropped like 4 Tiny Bunny videos and no other content, and I've been inconsistent. So like I've said, I will be consistent. So just let me get back into, I gotta get used to this new work schedule, but let me get back into my field. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally playing the game. So let me do my thing, coach. We gotta do some other videos, guys. Now, shout out to you guys for recommended games. Like I said in the community post, I am currently trying to finish Z.A.T.O. If you guys don't know what Z.A.T.O is, it is literally based in Russia. So if you guys want a game that's owed to y'all, the Russian game, community game, Tiny Bunny game, come on, bro. Check out Z.A.T.O, bro. If you're bored, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really good visual novel game. It's slowly heating up. I really like it. You know, just check it out. Sorry. So yeah, we're almost done with Tiny Bunny. We got to get 10 more endings, and then there's some other additional content that you guys want me to check out, read the manga, play some mods, whatever y'all let me know what the hell I need to do when we finish this damn game. And then I will be starting Harvester's new game that came out a few years ago. We gotta say a few years now. Burnhouse Lane. If you guys don't know about the Harvester game series, I would check out Cat Lady to Downfall to Lorelei. It's a peak fictional series, peak content, might I add. And then of course the Letter horror visual novel. I'm forgetting homie's name, but you recommended that. We got that on the list. We got some other indie games that you guys recommended on the list. So I'm just gonna be trying some different type of games, seeing what's gonna help the channel grow. Because at this point, we're dead without Tiny Bunny. So if we're not doing anything without Tiny Bunny and it's not getting any emotion, I'm dead. And guess what happens when I'm dead? You're dead. That was wrong. I'm just crashing out because I'm a dead channel. Tiny Bunny. Okay, so we got some more endings. We could talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're gonna get into it in the comments. You guys post over 60 fucking comments. So as per usual, when we get to the comment section, we're just gonna breeze through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just cherry pick. But I did read majority of all the comments. If I missed something, hopefully we can cover it. Yeah, those endings. I'm confused. I want to be very clear. I really enjoy Tiny Bunny and all of the content that we've been getting from the episodes, from each of the endings. Don't get me wrong, I really thoroughly enjoy it. They're fun and it's interesting to see it. However, in terms of my final thoughts so far, because I haven't really gave y'all my final thoughts because we're still getting all the endings, it just feels like I'm confused. Like I feel like the more that I put pieces together, the more that other puzzle pieces don't fit, So like to me, it feels like it contradicts one another, and then another puzzle piece doesn't really like work together. I feel like, okay, I'm missing a puzzle piece here. So like the main thing I'm really trying to hone in is the fact that there's a difference, distinction between what is real and then what is hallucination or in Anton's head. And a lot of these endings seem like they either support the fact that this is all in Anton's head and he's going schizophrenic, he's mental deranged, he's become a serial killer, he's psychopathic. And then there's other endings where it almost feels like it's real, and we have to kind of get to the bottom of it. And some of the endings that we got with the last video kind of, to me, push towards that. Now, the question remains though, is that like, how do we make these distinctions and then piece it together? Are we even supposed to do that? I don't know. So in the Genius in the Dark ending, I was left almost like, this is interesting, but like, are we gonna get more context to what happened with Biyasha? Like over the time when he was in the psychic ward, we were to assume that he got admitted because of the explanation of what happened with Anton and all of the, you know, other children and the creatures that the adults put the mask on. You know, the ending that we got from Love Recipe, like I'm trying to figure out, I'm forgetting, it's been a while, but I forgot specifically what happened to make Biyasha go crazy. I think maybe he just started going crazy in general, or did he pick up a mask himself? I don't know if they even really got into the details. I don't think they did, but I'm trying to figure out like, okay, if that's the case, who told Biyasha to make these masks and how did Biyasha know how to make these masks? Like simple questions like that I'm just confused on, in terms of like, they were insinuating that the masked creatures are the ones who told him, or the other masked creatures, or maybe the Force Master himself. I don't really 100% know. And then I'm wondering, I'm like, if this is all real, like, isn't the black garage supposed to be fake and in Anton's head? I remember somebody posted under my comment theory. Yeah, shout out to VX Jinx. The Black Garage turns into a winter palace at the end of episode 4. It's connected to the beast, so we know it's from Anton's dream that he moves on wheels tied to a truck. So we shouldn't believe it. Then I'm just confused because like with the Love Recipe ending, it seems like the conclusion was that they would just eat all of the bad people in the world. You know, Anton and Elisa, he winds up eating the serial killer, but isn't that tied to the serial killer and the garage? Isn't that at part of episode 5? If you get to it, there's an alternate situation where you get out of the Anton gets kidnapped. We're led to believe that Anton is hallucinating, but they show that he got kidnapped. He gets saved by Ramka and Tikhonov, and then they go out. There's people shooting, they're on the black garage thing. Like, who are these people? What is this happen? Like, it seems very vague. So to me, if Anton was really hallucinating here and he woke up as they're showing throughout the episodes of the game, then we're led to believe that when we see the black garage, it's all up in his head. So I'm wondering if Genius in the Dark is really all what it looks like, or is it just fake? Like, there's just so much confusion. And who the fuck is this fucking angel demon? Like, what is that? I don't know. It seems interesting, but then I'm like, the more that I feel like I put pieces together, the more that it doesn't tie into the other ones. So I'm like, I'm really hoping that the other endings explain it, because I want to know if we're gonna get more content from Biyasha, because it just feels kind of weird that this is the most that we're getting from Biyasha. It almost feels like there's just so many questions around it that it feels like Biyasha is only really here to serve this sort of plot. One of the endings, Anton completely removes the devil, but I don't know. Like, because now we got to deal with the fact that there's correlation or some sort of plot or understanding that, you know, I guess if you pick up the cross in episode 5, or you get to the point where we get to the Genius in the Dark, have the cross is repelling these demons, and then there's like a guardian angel that you're working with or something like that, from what Polina was saying, or I don't know. It's been a while, so like I'm trying to like trace back what all they were talking about. That's where I'm like confused. Like, I don't know, with 10 endings so far, to me at least, it seems very unclear on where we're supposed to go. Like, is this left up to the player's interpretation of what the game is really about, or are we supposed to connect it together with all of the endings? Is this some sort of elaborate web that Tiny Bunny has been trying to like figure out? I don't know. Like, to me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like the only ending that really makes sense to me is Mad World, and it sounds f***ed up, but like it just, it ties in a lot of the things that we've seen through the prior episodes with Anton hallucinating, him waking back up, him, you know, hallucinating that he's seen Semyon's finger in the ring of Tikhonov's police report evidence, him seeing Vova's bloody hand, him taking these pills that are supposed to calm him down, you know, not see the monsters and help him hallucinate. Like, I don't know, to me, I feel like it feels like him being a psychopathic killer makes the most sense. But of course, some people wouldn't agree, and it you know, even with Mad World ending, it doesn't explain the other characters and their involvement with all of this and all the other tidbits of like pieces of this animals and stuff. So like, I don't know, to me, I feel like a perfect ending would be like escape from reality to prove maybe that the monsters are real, and the monsters are trying to make sure that we don't leak the information or come out alive proving that the monsters are real. Like if they were to rewrite the game, like it'd be like something more, to me, it would like make more sense if it's like there's these beasts that are trying to kill everybody in the village and they come every 30 years or some sort of explanation of how the beasts come in and when they come in, and then like no one comes out alive to reveal the truth to the world or some shit like that. Like, I feel like that would be a better plot or something more consistent if they were to make multiple endings, and then they could shave it down to just one or few endings that makes sense and less confusing. But you know, to be fair, I gotta like finish the damn game. And however, I want to be clear, this does not mean that I'm hating Tiny Bunny or the devs. This does not mean that I think the game entirely is bad. To me, when you say it's bad, that means every single part of the game, there's just something bad about it. You could say that the story is bad or how they written it is bad. Sure. However, I know y'all would disagree. That's okay. As for me, the voice acting has been amazing. Like Biasha really like acting as if he was about to die. Like, that was phenomenal. Anton, his older adult self, acting as if he's like a fucking madman was crazy. The way they did that, like all of the voice acting lines were really good. The ambiance, the animation, the stuff. I still don't agree with the gore in terms of the excessiveness of it, but I digress. They're really trying to lock in and make you feel like you're in the world of Tiny Bunny. And I think for them to spend this amount of years to do all of this and still have this, I think it's a big feat. And despite the issues with the story and the endings so far that we could point out and talk about, I still think we got to give them props where props due, y'all. They did their thing. So like, we could at least give them a good pat on the back for at least trying to make something that was worth the wait, you know? So I can't hate them for trying to at least go big. But we got 10 more endings, y'all. And speaking of other things we got, comments. Yo, shout out to Mario Dupree, I think I might said that wrong. Shout out to the real Ninjago fan. Y'all remember Ninjago? God damn, that's a series. I watched the hell out of that when I was a kid. No, there's no way Biasha dies like that, bro. I'm fuming. Hey, bruh, me too. Let's see if the other endings explain some things with Biasha. Yo, shout out to United Zernitra, I think. After the release of the final episode, the Russian community strongly criticized the developers. After 3 days of silence, they released an apology post, promised to change the plot of the episode. Although in the interview, at first they said they would just add more positive ending. The noise among the Russian players is comparable to discussions of the final of Mass Effect 3 in 2012. Hey, if you watching, let me know if this is legit, because I know, Quay, you a big Mass Effect fan. I am curious. I've never played Mass Effect, but that's interesting. I mean, to me, the Outroar reminded me, I think I said this before, where it reminded me of when like Cyberpunk 2077 came out. Although the reason why Cyberpunk came out, by the way, I did a series on that if you guys want to actually watch me play through it. But I remember it like being not as good because the game was really buggy and bad. But for me, I felt like other parts of the game that they hyped up was really not what it led out to be. But it's interesting. I'm curious if they have that new mode in the game now where you could switch to the director's cut or something like that. That's what they called it, where we can like see their new revised plot. I don't know if that's out yet. I haven't been keeping up with their news. Yo, shout out to Alaskan Bullworm. My perfect ending, which I instinctively came up with and drew after finishing the game. Fox, bear, wolf, owl, Force Master turn out to be nothing more than spirits of the taiga. Not good, not evil, they simply exist. They have existed and will continue to exist. Boris Petrov managed to settle his affairs and move west with his family, where Oya and Anton get Disneyland. The Count's bandits are wiped out by other bandits, as often happened in the 90s. Bova, Sinichka, Katya, Semyon fall victim to a maniac. Karatone is just an old, odd man who loves scary stories and tells them in his own peculiar way. Senior Lieutenant Tikovno saved Yasha, Anton, Oya, Roma from the maniac, but dies at the hands of Hairlip. So when you say maniac, who are you referring to? Because the only person that would like explain the death of the children would be the serial killer, unless there's some other person. The children manage to escape into the forest while Hairlip, who is chasing them, gets lost and remains in this forest forever, praying to God for salvation, while the forest spirits, the Fox Bear and Owl, led by the Force Master, play with him. Alice leads Anton, Oya, Biasha, Roma out of the forest where they found by Doro Inn and the children's parents. Who the hell is that? The events force Karina and Boris to reconcile despite everything. Anton's schizophrenia and Karina and Boris' toxicity and constant scandals turn out to be merely a result of living right on the very border of the forest. As they leave the village, Anton and Oya see Elias, Wolfie, Bear, Owlette waving goodbye to them through the car window. 6 or 7 years later, the grown-up Polina comes to Moscow, where she meets up grown-up Anton. Thus, Anton and Polina repeat the love story of Karina and Boris. This is just my personal fantasy. Please don't beat me. Well, we're gonna beat you verbally. Okay. Shout out to you, Alaskan Bullworm. That's an interesting ending. I'm curious on who this maniac is in your story, in your ending, and Doro in
Bruh.
I don't know if this would explain what's going on with Karina and Boris and how they owe this particular gang money, or I don't know, they have history with Boris. And I don't know if this will explain how the bear amulet somehow repels Roma from attacking Anton despite what would happen. Like, this is not even me hating on it. I like the idea of this turning out to be like, you know, those masked creatures have or spirits. But I don't know if it like explains everything from all the other pieces of information we get. But honestly, I like this better than most of these endings. Yo, shout out to Iso Wick. I'm just gonna Iso Wick, because if you don't mind me, because again, I do not. They hoe y'all with these @ handles. Yo, I'm really happy to be in the video. Appreciate it a lot, man. The other story I was talking about is an alternate story. But by the way, they already collected budget. They need so the last update will come out spring of 2026. Ooh, okay. But don't worry, they already released the first 9 episodes that will happen to come to a length of 4+ hours per ending. What? Wait, they already released this? So the last update that I had on my Steam, are you telling me that this is first 9 episodes that happen to come the length of, so what do you mean by 9 episodes? Like first, like more endings? 4+ hours per ending. Y'all gotta understand, bro. I'm recording like a lot of Tiny Bunny content. I don't know if I want to play through all of the extra. I was thinking about it. I was like, do I play through the revised Tiny Bunny endings? I don't know. I mean, if it comes out in spring, maybe we can run it back. But like, y'all have to understand, it's so much to find the endings, record it, edit it, and put it out for you guys and do it quickly, because I know a lot of people want to see my playthrough. And then it's like I have other series that I'm doing, so I'm like really considering how much more content can I make from Tiny Bunny, or do I want to make from Tiny Bunny. But it's not to say that I won't try them out. I don't know if I want to do 20, I don't know, like if that's like 36+ hours of content, that's like a whole ass like Uncharted game, bro. I don't know, but we'll see. I really recommend you play it. I could say I like the modded game more than the original. It will have a lot of features that weren't in the original game, like the map of the places you could travel to in free time and much more. Wait, damn, the modded game is like that? And my name is not just made a long time ago when I was young. My name was just made a long time ago when I was young. It's supposed to say Liso or Vich or Vic. I don't know how you say it. Is the H silent? Laso Vic. And also, I do care about everything you want to tell. Don't be harsh on yourself. and those who don't want to see you can just skip. Update: Tiny Bunny, the other story is not a manga, it's a visual novel game just like the original. While the manga is canon and represents things happen in the original story, the other story is not canon and it was made by fans. You can download the mod VK contact of Tiny Bunny and other stories. Sorry for the structure of my comment. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Leso Vic. Yeah, if you guys want to see me play the modded story, I don't know, I feel like we gotta, because now I'm just thinking about it, like that's a lot of Tiny Bunny content, like, because like if I were to do that, I would have to do like one video, maybe 3 videos per month, because like I got other videos I gotta do. I don't want to like completely drown the whole channel with Tiny Bunny content. Indie Warrior. My favorite endings, top 3 are Love Recipe, Genius in the Dark, A Deal with the Devil. Those are my favorite endings, and they reveal something in the plot. And I don't mind piercing some parts together. I wish it was just foreshadowed some of their plot points a little bit better. And have Polina and Elisa involved in episode 5 and reveal how she was involved in this madness and know more about her granddad. Good episode, brother. I love your commentary as usual. Keep up the great work. Bro, shout out to you, Indy. I think you made a comment in the original episode. I remember reading too as well. Shout out to you. I like the content. I like a lot of the lore bits of what they did with these endings. I will say that much, even if it feels a little messy and confusing still. Like I still like some of the parts where they were showing a lot of things that they were confirming a lot of theories that, you know, fans were having. But I agree. I feel like I hope we get more from Karitone. Yo, shout out to Chertila, the GOAT. Yes, I use this utility too, but it's not an extension. It's built into a popular Russian browser, Yandex. Ooh, interesting. The neural network speaks in a voice similar to yours and pronounce everything in. Yo, I love technology, bro. I love technology. This is cool. That's actually cool as hell. I wish I'm thinking maybe they got something similar, because I'm using Microsoft Edge and I don't think they got anything interesting. But yo, shout out to Cool Nas, the GOAT. The main plot hole is parents dying in a mad world for whatever reason. The rest is weird stuff happening after making some choices, like the police not breaking into the house if you won't sacrifice someone, or people just watch some summary video that lasts like 40-ish minutes with all the 19 episode 5 endings. I saw some people were genuinely think that in Mad World ending, Anton is schizophrenic, then beasts aren't real. But in other endings, they are real and Anton isn't schizophrenic, and call that a plot hole. Some people just don't like fantasy and hate episode 5 for that. Some people don't like half of the endings are death endings. There are a lot of stuff you may not like in episode 5, but from what I've saw on YouTube, people that usually do all the endings by themselves think that episode 5 is definitely not perfect, but it's not even close to being as bad as people make it out to be. Interesting comment. Shout out to you again, Cool Nas. Yeah, I think to me, I feel like I've seen some games where like it almost feels like the ending is left up to your interpretation, kind of like Wolf Among Us. It's not similar to Wolf Among Us, but like Wolf Among Us, there's a whole discussion on Reddit about what happened in the Wolf Among Us ending, and it kind of leads to a little bit of a plot hole, or at least to what some people think and some people don't. It almost feels like the game is left up to your interpretation. And that's how I kind of feel like with some of these endings so far, because like if you try to connect some of the endings, they just don't make sense. But I'm wondering if this is what the devs were doing. Now, is this a good idea? I don't know. I have to really complete all the endings to really feel like, does this really make sense? But to me, the only thing I can really appreciate and say from the ending so far is that like we're getting a lot of content that's interesting, that almost confirms some other theories that we had in the community for a while. Yo, shout out to Mr. Smith. Hi, it's nice to see that you're communicating with the audience by responding to comments. Thank you for your responding to my comment. Happy New Year, and I hope everything will be fine in the new year. Hey, I hope so too, y'all. 2026, let's get this shit going. Hope y'all have a good new year as well. Attention, there will be a lot of letters next. Number 1, why exactly I didn't like episode 5. For a huge variety of reasons. In most endings, either everyone is killed, everything ends in a delusion where space, aliens, and angels are mixed together. Ooh, yeah, I mean, yeah, they did show that angel demon, which I'm wondering if they explained that, or are we led to like piece it together, or I don't know. Often there is no choice in the game, or it doesn't make sense. For example, animals will feed you sweets and parasites anyway. Yeah, that is true. At one point, I thought in episode 4 there was like they were supposed to make us delude ourselves, because if you eat the candy you start going crazy. But then the weird thing is that like they could almost manipulate your brain to think that they're candy but they're actually something else. And I don't know if that's an effect of the pills or just their power alone, but I don't know. It seems like the only power they have is the power of a strong beast creature once you put on the mask and eat the parasites. Because the parasites, to me, it seems like it, with the whistle of the flute, they activate the powers. But different endings contradict each other. A local story about stranger things, quote unquote, in the post-Soviet force turns into Lovecraftian anime with kaiju. Lovecraftian anime with kaiju. Which ending was this in? I'm forgetting. Adult Anton is a meme, smart man with glasses, JPEG, .jpeg download. There is a lot of fan services with children who are 12 years old. Ooh, yeah, I remember Comet mentioned something about that too, and I did notice there's a lot of like, even with that Polina scene where she's kind of like showing herself, like, is it supposed to be sexier? Like that part was very uncomfortable. So I do remember we did have a conversation about that, because that is a little bit weird how they have these children. And I saw some people arguing that it's like, you know, kids at that age are gonna fall in love and do stuff, and which is fair to that extent. But then again, it's not about whether they do it, it's about the audience. The demographic of Tiny Bunny, I'm sure, is really like older, like teenage old, maybe a young adult. So like, I don't want kids sexualized at all. I don't want that piece of media disseminated out into an audience of people who are more older. Like, that portrays a certain message, an idea that make kids more adult looking, which is just kind of weird. The main developer did this on purpose. The characters talk and act like they're not 12-year-olds, but 20. After the release of episode 5, it turned out the developer is a strange person, judging by his words about the audience, his past, and the people he works with. You mean to tell me, Psychono, you got some sussy wussy background? Hold on, what you talking about? Damn, that's crazy. Wow. If this is true, then I don't know, Psychono, bro. Number 2, boring addition to the previous comment about class theory. Yes, I heard you say petty bourgeois. I just shortened it to bourgeois Z in the commentary and gave these two terms a common definition. It's just that in Marxist theory, there are only two classes, the proletariat and the bourgeois, and exploited and exploiters is the key idea, and the rest, petty bourgeois, well-to-do proletarians, and have a ton of classes. So, everything else concerns middle class and other left liberal movements, do not relate to Marxist class theory and discredits it. Sorry, I just want to help and not be a smartass. No, I appreciate the correction, because you sound like you know your shit. I've been in the movement for a few years, being a part of it. At the later stage of my movement work, I was in an actual like MLMist, if you know the term, Marxist-Leninist Maoist organization study group, and like actually studying class theory. So like, I was surprised because I know a lot of people don't know anything about Marxism, and there's a lot of like semi-Marxist revisionist lines about Marxism, and so like it's always like refreshing to hear somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So I'm curious if you're actually like an MLMist, if you've gotten that far in your understanding of that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd shout out to you. Yeah, this is interesting. To me, I feel like, you know, these beast creatures are obviously gonna kill, and they've been killing, or at least from what some endings and how we're perceiving the creatures are. They're dangerous, deadly animals. I think with the nature of how the game is written and the story is written as well, like, and the gore and the complexity of how dangerous these creatures are and what we're dealing with, I don't see, I think seeing some people killed or children getting killed, depending on how you go about it and how you get your ending, makes sense to me. But yes, it is very unsatisfactory when you see like Mad World, for example, where Anton is just led to be a delusional schizophrenic that killed people, killed the children. So, and I won't lie, but I just feel like if they, like I was saying earlier, if they cleaned it up to just a few endings to explain everything, it would just, bro, it would just cut through the fluff, bruh. Like, we wouldn't have to deal with it. To me, at least in my understanding, the endings feel like they're either left to interpretation for the audience to figure out what actually happened, or they're just like a lot of loose ends that are not really tied correctly together. Because like, even if I were to say that I like the Mad World ending, or the Mad World ending makes sense, there's still a lot of like, what happened with Boris and Karino, what happened to Romka and Byasha, and then why in episode 5, if we're in our delusional state talking to Katya, why was she spilling the beans and information about Romka and Biasha? And like, why did she mention when she got captured, it looked like Anton? So like, to me, that feels like it's confirming some stuff about Mad World, but then there's other endings that don't. So it's like, it's just confusing to me. Okay, so before we actually go, I actually realized I skipped one comment that was important. It was Chertila. Here I am again in the video. You misunderstood me or did something wrong. You didn't get the ending with the man I was talking about. You had to collect all the evidence, but not report the man. Let the guests in, give them dog meat, and Tikhonov should meet you, not kill the animals. When you have to choose, save Oya first, get the ending, then Polina, other ending, confirming Polina is Elisa. It shouldn't be the animals, but Tikhonov's car, like for Recipe for Love ending. For some reason, you didn't get the photo in the garage. Let me remind you again, this is all Elisa's route. You should win Roma and get the Polaroid, and you lost. Everything needs to be done as Recipe for Love ending, except for drawing of the man. I can't say that, I could say that Oya and Anton were redrawn because there were so many complaints about how they look. The game will feature 2 modes, the director's cut, what we see now with the plot holes fixed, and the main mode will feature the additional ending where you can save absolute all the children. Plot holes will also be fixed. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, Chertila, I don't know how I did that wrong, because when I did Love for Recipe ending, I don't think I won against Roma either. I don't think I won against Roma. Well, I think, you know what? I did win against Roma, but like in at least Tiny Bunny's guide for Love Recipe, you didn't have to win against Roma unless they forgot to put that in the guide. So I was just following the guide and I just so happened to win against Roma. So if I'm supposed to do Roma, then like that's annoying because like they didn't put that in the guide. The weird thing is I am following Elisa's branch. I even redid the whole game, which I edited out in the video. I redid the whole game and followed specifically Anton's route, Elisa's route, and even collected all the evidence. The only thing I didn't do is not win against Roma. So maybe I need to win against Roma and then that will work. So we could try that out right now and see what the hell's going on. So you said we're not supposed to report the man. So I guess I thought, because in your comment, you also said that I could either not report the man or like draw him incorrectly. All right, so I guess we're gonna have to be quiet. So we're gonna stay silent. But I'm wondering, I'm thinking we should still be able to do the rock, paper, scissors, right? Okay, we got the Polaroid, right? Okay, so this is where, so we have to win this. I saved it just in case I lose. Don't you dare do scissors. Then kill you, bitch. Okay, I got one. Let me do rock again. Okay, he got 2. I'm gonna do rock again. Okay, I'm gonna do paper. Got him. And I'm gonna do scissors. Got him. He lost. So let me save here. I got the Polaroid in my palms. We did all we could. We need to get out of here. As if I'm back with a whole finger. Are you insane? Okay, there it is. We do take a picture. Okay, so maybe I needed to just win the thing. Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay, we're gonna have to save this because this is gonna give us one of the endings. Okay, so with this, we still obviously get abducted, or this we think. Skip through all of that. I went with Katya when I was doing Love Recipe. We could do the same. All right, let's observe all this stuff. All right, so this is when make the call, talk to Tikhonov. Board up. So what do we do here? Didn't we let them in? Let me double check. Okay, we let them in. All right, let them in. It looks like we have no choice. Didn't we have I'm trying to remember, did we have a choice or not? Let me see. I guess it doesn't matter since we're not following the Love Recipe route. Take that. Sacrifice the dog meat. I'll save this just in case if we ever need to. All right, so we're here. Finally, goddamn. All right, we're supposed to get a different ending. So we did this wrong. So hopefully we get the ending this time that Chertila was talking about. All right, so let's rescue Oya first. See what happens. Drop the axe, fell to my knees, my numb fingers clutching Oya's collar. One wrong root move and my boot will fall into the snow-in hole. Okay. So this seems like the same thing that's happening from the other endings. The girls are schemed, writhing in the snowy trap. Abandon and run. Okay. I scream it as I pull Oya out. Rom can help Polina stand at the same time. Alright.
Ничего, солнышко.
Okay, sweetie. Grab their axe and run. So they don't get killed. Not yet. My leg got stuck in the roots. Sharp pain pierced my foot. Okay, we're just skipping through all of this. It's just relatively the same. Pair of glowing eyes lit up in the tree, shadows of the tree line. They were getting closer. Okay, so this is when we see Toko with the car. So I think we're doing it right so far. The UAZ jumped out in front of us. Its drive immediately slammed on the brakes, opening the door on the go. It was Tikhilno. Stared at us in disbelief. The killers are here. Get in the car now. Seems relatively the same. I still don't, like, if these animals are real, I don't know how they weren't able to body this car. They don't even look like they got seatbelts on. I had to drag my little sister out of the car. She sniffled, took and shook like a paper doll in my embrace. 4 of us rushed through the winter haze on the snaking drift. Ah, this is interesting. So we don't get into that whole animal fight. I felt like those hungry monsters could pounce at us at every moment. Shadows of the crosses overlapped on the trail. A deafening howl echoed from behind us. Roma! I turned around and Polina was alone. Where is he? He was holding my hand a moment ago. My gaze stumbled upon the leather coat dangling on one of the crosses. Roma's coat.
Пошли, Полин, не отставай.
If he turned into a wolf, then put on the wolf mask. What about Roma?
Нас нагонит. Дай мне руку.
He'll catch up to us. Give me your hand. But Polina didn't listen. She took a step back and another one, shouting Rumka's name into the non-responsive darkness. Man, let her go, bro. She gonna turn into Elisa. Her voice, hoarse and trembling, dissolved into the blizzard like an unsuccessful spell. The only reply she got was a low, guttural howl, followed by a short gust of gunshots. A sudden gust of snow devoured the girl's figure. Polina disappeared inside it without a trace. No screams, no shadow, just an empty void. Holy shit. I couldn't help her. I needed to protect my sister.
Пойдем.
Come on, let's go. We walked like 2 runaway kids in search for the Neverland, who got lost and ended up in frozen wastelands of the Snow Queen. Will you always stay with me?
Никогда.
Of course.
Но, Оль,
But Oya,
если со мной что-нибудь случится, ты убегай, ладно?
if something does happen to me, run away, okay?
Ищи взрослых, родителей,
Look for adults, for our parents.
кого угодно, только без масок.
Look for anyone who's not wearing a mask.
Давай сделаем так, чтобы ничего не случилось.
Let's do something so nothing happens.
Конечно, но
Sure.
поклянись мне, что побежишь за помощью, если
Promise me you'll run for help
если я не смогу идти дальше.
if I won't be able to walk anymore.
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
I swear on Mom's heart.
I'll ditch your ugly ass.
Damn, Oya. At least she gonna do it, I hope. The despair made me want to howl along with the wind. You made one good point, Mr. Smith. These are some smart-ass kids. Like, damn, 12 years old and you thinking and talking like this? The wreath on the cross dangled its mourning stripes as if telling me to look inside. I hobbled towards the hungry hole in the frozen loom on stiff legs.
Куда?
Where are you going, Tosha? The hole was calling for me. I stepped over the short fence. Oh! Oh, what the fuck? Yo! This gotta be some crazy ass foreplay. I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck is going on? That was a terrible joke. Bro, what the fuck? It looks like they got gunshot. Oh, did somebody end them and then strip them of their clothes and put them in the bot? What the fuck happened? Yo, that is crazy. Snowflakes swirled in the air like a royalty in the bathroom. 6 feet under the ground, covered by powdery film of snow, lay my parents, hugging each other like in bed, but on the cold ground. Their heads were turned toward each other as if parodying an intimate moment, and their temples were adorned by perfectly round bullet holes. Lumps of lead made my mom and dad make up forever in death and stifled the flames of their worthless squabbles. I fell to my knees, losing the last bits of my sanity and strength.
Что там, братик?
What's
Не
there?
подходи!
Stay away.
Ты меня пугаешь.
You're scaring me.
Стой, где стоишь!
Stay where you are.
Дядя меня пугает.
That mister is scaring me. Mister? Oh, shit. A shot whizzed past my ear, leaving behind a maddening, ringing sound. Oh! The man with the hair lip walked from around the granite snow. Before I could compose myself, crying Oya rushed to shield me with her body. She was horribly scared, but her fear of losing me was even greater. And I was the same. My fear may be even greater than hers.
Что вам надо? Уходите!
So this is what happens when you don't go after the man. You don't figure out who he is, and then he winds up trying to kill you.
Мы хорошие. Не трогайте нас.
We're good. Please leave us be. The hulking man was horrifyingly calm, as if it wasn't his first time a child cried, pleaded, and screamed in front of him. He closed the distance between us and aimed straight at my forehead. I waited for the shot to ring out in desperation. I waited for the moment where my body would flutter with the snowflakes in the sky, and then immediately crash into the hole behind me, into the embrace of my parents. I think that's what he said. Of my dead parents. Click. This is awkward. Ran out of bullets. The man with the hair lip fiddled with the gun in his hand.
Маслята все истратил.
Dang. Ran out of ammo. It almost felt like he was waiting for me to sympathize with him.
Оставьте нас. Пожалуйста, уходите.
Please leave us alone. Go away.
Вот же ж ёкало мене.
My life. The killer shoved his gun behind his belt. He looked up to the sparkling stars. Then he slowly crossed himself.
Господи, спаси и сохрани.
So now we have a killer. Obviously, this correlates to what I guess they were kind of insinuating that Anton's parents had some beef with some shady people. I'm just like, this is very confused. I'm trying to figure out like how do we make sense of all of this? Because apart from the monsters coming to kill, you got this killer now, and it's like, what do we do with this information? How do we correlate these two? God have mercy on me. His merciless hands shoved me into the snow pile and gripped my neck. The man with the hair lip scowled, then squeezed. Oya threw punches at him, trying to save me until the bitter end. She didn't keep her word. She didn't run away. She couldn't, just like I wouldn't be able to. The killer kicked her, a defenseless, fragile girl, into the closest open grave. After a moment, a heart-rending shriek came from out there. That immediately changed into hysterical crying.
Мамочка! Мама!
Damn.
Мама!
Oh, and then she sees her parents. Ooh. This is a really f***ed up sad ending, bro. The killer started mumbling loudly, an attempt to drown out Oya's wailing.
Прости мне прегрешения мои прошлые и будущие. Умоли мою боль и укажи путь к спасению.
According to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. He's trying to justify his killing. Lordy days. His fingers clutched my neck, preventing me from breathing. His nails tore into my skin. I dangled my heels, and the world around me started dense macabre. I saw double, no triple the crosses. My pants became wet and hot. Blue circles, and that looked like rainbow stains and gasoline left in puddles spread before my eyes.
прими души малых сих в царствие свое.
And grant your grace to the souls of the departed little ones. Yeah, she should have kept running, bruh. But she's a kid, what you expect her to do? Oya kept on screaming from the bottom of the freshly dug grave. I grew weaker with every new line from the Holy Scripture. My inner voice whispered, run, escape. I tried to escape for the one last time, to the world of my dreams. I imagined myself running to save Oya. I imagined carrying her enveloped in the sunlight, and us dissolving into the whiteness of the first morning rays. a happy and peaceful feeling that was hetero, I don't even know how to say that, unknown to me, took over my soul. I felt calm, as if I just woke up from a nightmare, right in the middle of a pitch black night in my own room. Yes, this was all just a dream. Just a trick my imagination played on me. And then I once again fell into the pleasant slumber, happy that none of this was actually happening to me. When the morning comes, I'll see my little sister, my parents, Polina, my friends. But no matter how much I tried, I could no longer wake up. Damn, dude. Oh boy. There's another song? Damn, how many songs? Y'all had them on. Sorry, I gotta skip through all that. I gotta see what the hell's going on. All right, hunting season. Okay. This is this ending. So I'm assuming this is the actual ending that you wanted me to see, Tritila. A dark tragedy unfolded in one of the distant villages of our country. A former influential financier from the criminal underworld, Boris Petrov, tried to hide from his pursuers among the taiga forest, but his past still caught up to him. A merciless assassin dealt with him and his family in the most brutal way possible. Even seasoned detectives were appalled by the cruelty with which his crime was perpetrated. A nationwide manhunt is currently underway. Police suspect that it was an act of retaliation from one of Moscow's based mafia gangs Petrov was previously affiliated with. Okay, so this confirms a lot of what, you know, Boris and Karina was freaking out about, their past, of Boris's past being a financier from the criminal underworld. I'm kind of curious on like what made him flee from that type of life. And to put your family in danger, boy, damn, dude, that's crazy. All right, ending 1. All right, so this time let's do Polina. I dropped the axe and fell to my knees, my numb fingers clutching Polina's sleeve. One wrong move and my boot would fall into the snowed-in hole. There would be nobody left to save my friend.
Держись, Поля!
Hold on, Polina. Okay. I did notice that Romka was behind her, helping her out. I'm here. But then who would save my sister? Perfect realization caught up to me when I heard Oya scream. Oh shit. Oh shit. So she still gets up. Take it? The hungry shadows snatched her out of the hole and dragged her into this perfect darkness. Then I heard smacking and crunching sounds coming from there. I killed my sister with this choice and betrayed my trust in my parents. Okay.
Бежим! Не останавливайся, бежим!
Okay. It is crazy though, Romka instantly went to go with Polina too after I already helped her. So if we pick Polina, Oya is dead. But then we still run into the Keyhole Nova, obviously. That's relatively the same thing. It is also kind of weird how they fell on the snow and now they're screaming to help. It's like, you got legs, get the fuck up. Like, what the hell?
Возвращайся.
Антон, нам сейчас очень нужна твоя помощь.
He's getting guilt tripped. Anton, we need your help right now. Look after your children's sister while we're gone. I squeezed eyes out of my grave. Somebody was shaking me, slapping me across the face as if I was asleep in the snow. I stared at Romka in the face. Damn.
Ты чего, Тошек?
What's wrong with you? You didn't help my sister.
Команда Вольтрона. Помнишь?
Man, shut
Почему
that
тогда
team.
мы не спасли Олю?
Why do we need to help? Yo, oh yeah. Rum relieved away in shame, then pulled me so hard we butted heads.
Прости меня, друг. Это просто какой-то...
I'm so sorry, friend. It's just all.
Валить надо скорее. Тох, они нас вот-вот
No, you're not
нагонят.
sorry, bro. You selfish. That's what you is. We need to get away from here. They're about to get us, Toha.
Вставай.
Get up. They're about to get you.
Только что держал меня за руку.
Okay, so Romka went missing.
Пошли,
I suspect that he
не
turned into the
отставай.
wolf or something.
Он нас нагонит. Дай мне руку.
He'll catch up to us. Give me your hand. Because this time we take our hand. We continue on our way with just the two of us. The blizzard howled and we ran, our breathing ragged. Rifle fired echoed over the burial grounds. Polina fell down and I helped her up.
Где же он?
Where is he?
Он бы хотел, чтобы мы спаслись. Это сейчас главное.
He wanted us to save ourselves. That's the most important part. The rifle rattled off in the night, spewing lead. Then it suddenly went silent, and the howling blizzard subsided in unison. You know what happened to Tihono. The snowy blanket slowly covered the graves. The light illuminated the gravestones. Did Tihono ran out of ammo, or did his life end there in the snowstorm after being torn into pieces?
Скорее, пойдем.
Come on, let's keep going. We walked like two lost kids.
Слышишь?
Hear that? I strained my hearing.
Нет.
No. She stopped me with a gesture, listening intently to the grave silence around us. Complete silence. I can't hear any music.
Я не слышу никакой
Then she cried.
мелодии боли.
The melodies of Oya, Tikhonov, Ramka,
Их
are
нет.
gone. Her words made me burn up.
Пожалуйста, Полина, ты видела, на что способны эти твари?
Please, Polina, you saw what those monsters can do.
Прошу, нам нужно идти.
Come on, we need to go.
Без Оли. Без Ромки.
Without Oya, without Ramka? She wailed, and bitter tears appeared in the corner of my eyes too.
Слезами мы их не вернем.
We can't bring them back with tears,
Но я клянусь, я спасу тебя.
but I promise I'll save you.
И мы обязательно побываем в Москве и в Вене. А я...
And we'll definitely go to Moscow, to Vienna. And she sniffled and stared at me.
Я выпущу свой комикс про тебя, Полин.
I published my comic book about you, Polina.
Верь мне.
Believe me. Polina hugged me as she whispered,
Ты прав. Ты все, что у меня осталось.
You're right. You're all I have left.
Я верю тебе.
I believe you. I looked over her shoulder. Uh-oh, we're still gonna see. Wait, what's gonna happen with this, though? A black rectangular hole caught my eye at the end of the graveyard section. A wraith at the cross dangled its mourning stripes as if telling me to look inside. I hobbled towards the hungry hole. In the frozen loop, what's knife legs? Anton? The hole was calling for me. I stepped over the short fence. So yeah, we still see our parents dead. So that means, are we still gonna die by this dude? 6 feet under the ground, covered by powdery film of snow. Like my parents. Okay, let's look through
Нет.
this.
Это все неправда.
Polina got
Этого не
closer.
может быть.
Our people shone in the darkness. What the f?
Мы спасемся.
We'll be fine.
Этот кошмар.
This
Он не
nightmare,
отпустит нас.
it won't let us go.
Ты, видно, забыл, дурачок.
Have you forgotten, silly?
Пока ты со мной, никто тебя здесь не тронет.
This is a lice. I kind of figured this was gonna be a lice the whole time. I know you guys already told me about it too. Her right eye burst out. Bits of her brain and her bone. What the f? Shot her? Polina collapsed, leaning over the ground, so I rushed to her side. I touched her once beautiful, but now disfigured face. Gray smoke rose out of the eye socket. So you didn't run out of bullets this time?
Пожалуйста, не бросай меня, Полин!
Don't leave me, Polina. Pressed against my forehead. Click. Well, you know what? I guess he did shoot past my ear, and now he ran out of bullets. Okay.
Надо же.
Okay. He says the same thing, and then he chokes me out regardless.
Будущее.
Well,
Умоли
Elisa
мою
didn't.
боль и укажи.
She didn't come out to protect me. She didn't come out of Polina. Okay. Try to remember Polina, majestic and beautiful. I imagined her playing on the stage for thousands of people, sitting with me in front of the row, never taking my eyes off her. I try to remember Oya, imagined carrying her enveloped in the sunlight, and us dissolving into the whiteness of the first morning rays. A happy, peaceful feeling that was hit the row, unknown to me, to take over my soul. So this is relatively the same. He just slowly chokes out. Damn. Interesting. Okay, so shadows of the past. Clashes between two criminal groups overflowed from big cities and reached the parts of our country everyone considered safe just yesterday. A horrific crime shook up the lives of local villagers. Payback caught up to Boris Petrov, previously a mafia bookkeeper who tried to hide from his former mates in the taiga. He paid the ultimate price of his shady past, hired an assassin A hired assassin ended the lives of the entire Petro family, not even sparing the children. The ruthlessness with which the murders were committed astonished even the toughest of detectives. Local police, with the support of their colleagues from the capital, are still conducting a search for the perpetrator. That's tough, bro. Damn, so she does reveal that she's a lice, but then she didn't come out to save us. Okay, so let's try this ending that Tratila was talking about, where we go back to episode 4. Let's accept the treats. I don't know if we have to spare or kill the dog, but I guess it doesn't matter because we have to sacrifice Oya. Okay. Don't let them in. All right, so this time we're gonna sacrifice Oya. This must be tasty. Why is Elisa here?
Скорее, она ничего не почувствует.
Was she always here? I took a step towards my sister. Accident hit in the show, frozen open in my ear. My victim. You probably brought the baby Oya to the head. Okay, so yeah, we know what happens. I hope we don't get Mad World. We shouldn't get Mad World.
Ты все сделал правильно, Антон.
You did the right thing, Anton. The sacrifice was
Жертва не
necessary.
бывает напрасно. Ты отомстишь. Нужно набраться терпения.
You'll get your revenge. You just gotta be patient. When?
Позже, мальчик.
Bit later, boy.
Чуть позже.
Just a little bit
Ты еще
later.
слаб. Ты должен стать сильнее.
This is new. I don't think we've seen this. You're still weak. You need to become
Если
stronger.
ты умрешь сейчас, то кто покормит добрых зверей?
You die now, who would feed the kind beasts?
Время кормежки пришло.
It's time to feed. I might be stupid, but I don't think we've seen that part. I put my coat on even though some sort of sixth sense told me that I wouldn't need clothes where I'm heading. I've been down to that thing. My dear Oya. At least to make us read. Okay, pick up Oya. She barely weighed anything.
Откуси.
Take a bite. Word letters Oya. Food. Oh, this is different. I went out to the porch. The world just changed. Could it really stay the same after what I've done? Some sort of amorphous mass bubbled, swelled. It's the Force, I thought. It's in its true form. This is my new home. The trees lurked in the darkness, reaching for prey. With their branches, their thick roots rose from the frozen snow, drawing nightmarish lines in the snow. The world was hungry. Its children stood between me and the writhing, twisting pines. They grew to fantastical scale, but still felt so familiar and so dear. A black trail led to the monstrous figure, a thin strip in a place where the snow thawed. The hard sword reminded me of the scales of a giant reptile. It rose and descended under my soles. The beast I walked on was breathing. Oh, interesting. This is what happens when you don't get caught by Tehovno and get jailed. Welcome, Bunny. So that's what you look like. I picked Oya up as if weighing her.
Моя сестра. Я любил ее.
This is my sister. I loved her. We like her too. Bring her closer. The wind hit me in the face. The smell of cinder and corroded my mucus. A harsh sound that tormented my eardrums came from somewhere above. Something between an air raid, alert siren, and a woman. wailing in agony. I leapt up to the sky, moved and writhed as if it were woven from millions of worms. The sky died, just like Oya, and now it was full of larvae. The moon, round and yellow, bubbled above the forest like a bulging eye of a dead person. The moon saw what I did and screamed. The moon squealed in horror and bled. I felt like a feather in the wind, and I also felt like this is exactly what the world without Oya must look like. With the screaming moon, with the rotting skies, with the taiga crawling in the boneyard. Jesus, the beast shadow covered me along with my dead sister. Thank you, buddy. I've never doubted you, can I? My days darted between the horrifying silhouettes. They moved closer in one moment, only to pull away the next. They switched places as soon as I blinked. This is not right. These monsters can tear me to pieces at any moment. Do friends act like that? He's talking to the bunny inside of him. Look at them. They're your family, your pack. Hey man, I'm gonna let him do the talking. My numb, bloodied hand were empty. The hungry beast that looked like a fox presented herself against the corpse. Yeah, I didn't know that was Elisa. I heard the crunching of bones. A body of disgusting centipede stretched, its mandibles opened and closed, sharp as sickles. Lord! Lord! No! They cut open my sister's stomach at the same time the horrendous jaws locked onto Alina's pale face. I staggered, but I couldn't look away. Elisa threw the innards to the sky. Bon appetit. The owl rushed toward them and plunged into those gray, slimy sausages. She devoured them greedily like a stray dog would devour parent. First of all, if y'all were gonna eat humans, why are y'all eating children? They have no meat. Head to America, bruh. We got the meats. No Arby's. The f is you talking about? The fox tore the corpse from limb from limb. Sinews. Ugh, I don't like how you did that. What are you, Kirby? The sinews popped under the strength of the claws. Juicy bits of human flesh plopped in front of me. Dead, but for some reason, still not coagulated blood ran from toward my feet. Oh, shit! Why did they have to do that? Ugh! Yo, what is wrong with this game, bro? Oh my god, what is wrong with this game? Wait, didn't we axe her head? So where's the axed head? Yo, I don't even care anymore. It don't matter to me. Alright, bro. Yo, these niggas just love gruesome content, bro. Cause like, what the f— why do I need to see this? What the f you mean this ain't enough? You should have realized, bitch. Oh! For daddy, for mommy. They threw the bodies of my lifeless parents to the clearing. They're gonna eat your— wait, what happened? I don't even— I moaned faintly, my hands reaching towards mom and dad. We'll have our bellies full tonight. Elisa grabbed my dad and threw him to the pack as she licked her lips. The beast lunged at the corpse. The person who let me sit on his shoulders so I could see a better New Year's fireworks. Yo, this game loves this bro. I'm convinced, bro, cause like, dog. Yo. Why do I need to— stop it? My daddy's the best in the world. That world no longer exists. We devoured it. This is not just meat, Bunny. Whatever. Make excuses for why you want to do this shit. Not mom. Oh no, not my mom. No. Yeah. All right. Now you gotta eat your own mother. The beast inside me was the first to follow the order. Before I could blink, I was already on my knees and hands, rummaging the cold, sticky flesh. Saliva and tears poured out of me. Brought a thick slice to my face. Was it Mom, Oya? Who cares? I was so hungry. Alright. Yo, this is nasty, bro. My mom. Pretty sure it was her. Tasty. Tastes like a bit like bunny, right? Do you know the old tale about a bunny that could bite the moon? Hold on. There was a boy who had many toys.
Куклы сбежали от него под покровом ночи и отправились на снежную полянку.
Okay. When their owner fell asleep, they ran away from him in the dead of the night and went to the snowy clearing.
Там, в чернеющих небесах, сияла полная луна.
There, in the soot black skies, a full moon shone.
Медвежонок прыгнул первым и урвал ломоть луны.
What is this story? The bear jumped first and tore off a chunk. Tastes like honey, he said.
Голодный волчонок взмыл в небо и клацнул зубами. Жирная рыбка! Прокатился его рык по степи.
The Hungry Wolf Club, Cub. Man, y'all can read.
Прыжок, и вот уже лисичка сладко облизывалась в лунном свете.
One more jump and it was like, it was a fox turn to lick her lips under the moonlight.
Все знают, что луна сделана из сыра. Хитро улыбнулась плутовка.
Okay.
А сова ничего не сказала. Но зверята и так знали, что для нее все на свете на вкус, как мыши.
Okay.
И только маленькая зайка испугалась прыгнуть так высоко, чтобы достать лакомый кусочек с неба. Трусишка сбежала от своего хозяина, построила гнездо, шила и набила опилками двух зайчат.
Build a nest and sew on 2 more tiny bunny stuffed with its sawdust.
И никто никогда не смог укусить луну, ведь зайка разделила свою силу со своими детьми.
So this is obviously Karina and Anton and Oya. Okay. None of them will be able to bite the moon ever again because the bunny shared her powers with her children.
Но теперь, зайчик, ты вобрал в себя всю их силу.
So when you eat the bunny or the original bunny, which is Karina, they get all the powers back. So how does this work? So when you go up and bite the moon, like, are you actually doing this, or is it like a metaphorical thing? Like, are you Like, I'm trying to figure out what this, how to correlate this. I'll be mad too, nigga. These niggas out here jumping and eating my ass. What the f? Can you close your mouth real quick, bro, though? Like, for real, though. Close your mouth. The hunger that tormented me made me shove more and more meat in my mouth. Saw Oya running into the room and to plop into my embrace. A bright smile. I saw meat. My stomach swelled. My mom and my sister got stuck between my teeth. Ew! I burped and started laughing. I licked my fingers and gone off, slamming my face against the leftovers. The back replied with the same barking laughter. The blizzard hit us and the beast retreated toward the forest. I crawled after them on all fours, started grabbing more meat and gnawing at the joint on the go. A nail pierced my palate. I spit it out and stood up. Ugh! The creatures were still backtracking toward the forest. Ugh! The trees swirled in the pestilent darkness, some even attacking each other. Scarlet plasma seethed in the pits. The clusters of my eyes grew on the trunks. They followed me, my every move. I felt myself molting, and that was a wonderful feeling. The pads flaked away together in the shell of a young boy. Under my old skin, something wild and unbridled spread out. Something true. I don't fear in this thicket. The night belongs to us. I am the pack. Now it's color. I look at this ancient forest. Is it the same? I look back at the trees that were now trees. They didn't swarm like distressed bugs anymore. Under my feet was a plain old ground and a normal girl who walked out from behind the pines and toward me.
Добро пожаловать домой, зайчик.
Welcome home, buddy.
Это место такое красивое. И звуки праздника.
This place is so beautiful, and the festive
Осталось
sounds.
всего ничего, и твое полное перерождение свершится.
There is just a tiny bit of left until your reincarnation will be complete.
День рождения нового зайчика.
Birthday for a new
Разрешишь
bunny.
потягать тебя за уши?
Will you allow me to pull your ears? The music and the poppers beckoned me. Somewhere near, one step away from this wondrous clearing and heart-rendering happiness awaited me.
Поторапливайся, глупый.
Hurry
Я
up,
обещаю,
silly.
что назвала тебя
And I promise that I call you
красивым.
silly for the last time. I took her by the hand.
Бежим!
Let's run!
Но куда?
But where?
Сам понял.
You already know. She pointed toward the sky, crowned by the screaming moon. I spoke hesitantly, looking at my weak
У
legs.
нас слишком высоко.
It's too high up.
Просто забудь обо всем, чему тебя учили в школе.
Simply forget everything they taught you in school.
Земное притяжение для дураков.
The laws of gravity are for fools. Want to do it together? I nodded, of course, and we'll do it together. This new sky was made for us, for the two of us. The moon was also screaming just for us. One. We jumped.
2.
2. Another jump. 3, come on. And then it happened. Our strong legs pushed off from the frozen ground, our bodies rushed towards the sky, leaving the rotten filth of Earth's black shadows behind. The bitter cold enveloped me, drilled into my vertebrae like a torture device, chilling me to the bone. My skin cracked, my blood drops turned into ice and scattered from my wounds. I blew up with laughter, not within my mouth, but when tongue turned blue and stifled, but somewhere else. It was probably the darkness itself. Inside me, a laser flashed a blinding smile. We swirled with the howling hurricane among the acne of stars. Frozen flesh peeled off our bones. A waltz. A crack ran through her bluish face. Fragments of her cheek fell into the abyss like shards of ice. The wind blew the slurry of her eyeballs out of the widening holes. The movement of the sky dancer slowed down. I was waltzing about, bracing the ice sculpture that was once Elisa. We merged into a single silhouette.
Буду ждать тебя на земле.
I'll be waiting for you on the ground.
Стой!
Wait. She broke away from me, shattered into pieces, crumbled in my hands, falling into darkness that writhed underneath. Fly. I knew what had to be done. I rushed upward toward the balls of larvae and ulcers that made holes in space itself, toward the yellow moon. It drooled just like me. My past was left somewhere below. Katya. She hated me, that nasty bitch. Semyon. That ugly fatso that hit and bullied me and called me a web. Grumka. He was truly never my friend. He can rot for all I care. Yasha. Sycophant and a coward. I should have gotten rid of him at the first opportunity. Mom and Dad, their screams and their endless squabbles, their cold eyes. That cursed village, that stuffy house that I hated. Oh yeah, she's dead and everything's dead. Dead, destroyed, and decomposed. I was finally free. The moon pulled me upward. Something very important cracked and disintegrated inside me. Something unnecessary. I forgot the name of my father. I forgot the name of my mother. I forgot the name of that little girl that I used to squeeze in a hug. Inside was a creeping, growing shadow of the yellow moon. I forgot my own name. But I also did it. I managed to bite the moon. My skin bubbled, unglowing from the flesh. My bones popped out of it with a tearing sound. Hunger. My mouth flew open so hard that my cheeks tore apart. I was no longer a mouth, a maw. My teeth all fell out, like I was a baby. Sharp, bony knives grew out of my gums and pierced my lips. Hunger. My eyes popped and splashing onto my face. I was no longer a human face, but that of an animal. My muscles twisted into knots. New eyes were forming into the eye sockets. They saw everything as food. An edible world, an endless forest, an endless hunting ground, a darkness where I could hide. I roared. The claws protracted from my fingers, ripping my nails off. I tore off the remains of my old skin, the pieces of my old face, my hair. Okay. The moon howled as it watched my transformation. When the rite was complete, oops, I skipped that. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He transformed into the full bunny. Okay, we get it. I rushed back to Earth. So who the f is that? Just a random police officer dead? Oh, that's T.O now? What happened to him? Is he getting eaten or what? I can't even barely see that. What is that? What the f is this? What the f is? What is going on? What does that even mean? What does this mean? What? The world was bleeding. The planet descended into pitch blackness. Fires went out. The entire cities turned into ash. The blink of an eye. The assemblage of claws, tails, and teeth crawled, destroying life itself. All because you accepted the form of a bunny? Fully accepted it. The seas turned crimson. Okay. So this is the end of the world. Holy shit. What the f is this ending? So you mean to tell me everyone just f***ing is dead, bro? What the f? So him becoming the bunny, accepting his fate, and biting upon the moon gave everybody the powers to fully take over the world and just destroy everything, eat everyone. Yeah, this is a game, bro. This is a game. This game is all right, bro. I don't even care about the text anymore. Just end this shit. Come on, dog. Oh my god, bro. I'm starving. I'm so hungry. I'm chewing myself. I wouldn't even be full if I even ate the moon. Even if I ate the moon. So the more it eats, the more it's like growing and gets stronger. The bunny to devour the worlds. I create nothingness. I leave the half-eaten core of the planet. I devour graveyards. My howl is a death chant. My body is bigger than anyone who I could ever imagine if I haven't already eaten everybody. I walk in the darkness, scooping up cliffs, seas, open my mouth. My eyes roll around the craters of my eye sockets, seeking nutrition all around me. I eat the stuff. Okay, we get it. You eat everything. This is Golden Corral, and all you can eat from monsters. God damn. I hear the planet scream. I hear the universe wail in horror. Its dying convulsions never ending. Bro, you even got these planets screaming for fucking help. Dog, what is this? What the fuck is this ending? What the fuck is this ending? Dude, my brain hurts. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, apocalypse now. The apocalypse have been canceled. Russia will not fall apart. Even Though the current day smells of ashes and despair and the default is raging outside our windows, even with the constant debates about Chihena on the radio, Russia is alive and in disarray. The trenches of the market economy with the pensions and socks and souls at the bottom of the glass, it won't submit. And even if everything in the world crumbles, if the cities sink under the ground, there will still be people left with who believe, destitute, lost, exhausted, the broken but unbroken, nothing less. I have no doubt one day we will be able to reach the stars again. While the earth spins, we will have a chance for tomorrow, for our future grandkids, for a dream that nobody can take away from us. Do I even want to do the other ending? I guess we have to do the other ending. We have to figure out what the going on. All right, so this time, bro, I can't get over the fact that like this game has still hours of crazy shit. Jesus Christ. Let me pick Anton. Let's see what's going on. I screamed. Oya shuddered as she woke up.
Я буду вашим угощением! Только оставьте сестру в покое!
I am curious on what's gonna happen if you sacrifice yourself, because obviously Mad World ain't gonna... I mean, obviously we won't get the ending where we get lost in the blizzard or we get eaten alive. Well, I don't know. Maybe it might be worse. Let's see what's happening. I'll be your tree. Just leave my sister alone. Oh, shit. This didn't happen. Giant Paul smashed through the boards after the house was made out of matches and crawled inside. Oh, shit. You're but a single bite, brother. I guess we'll have to sweep the floor bin. Their fingers felt around the kitchen. The hairy claw grabbed the yelling Oya by the leg and dragged her into the room.
Стойте! Так нельзя! Возьмите меня!
Wait, you can't do that. Take me instead. Okay, what does this mean? Yo, some of this Russian folklore sounds scary as like I'm gonna get eaten by animals. I'm so old and ardent hearing now. I come to snout. Then the claws of the size of a butcher knives grabbed me, dragged me outside, and lifted me high in the air and toward the sky. Teeth and claws like a sharp blade ate into my flesh and tore it apart piece by piece. But you gotta be eaten. Both of y'all get eaten alive this time. Is this a shorter ending? That was quick. Lost in the night, the snow-laden roads, a long tractor abandoned in the snow pile, the black silhouette of a school, twilight falls, but there is no light in the windows and no smoke billowing from the chimneys. The buildings are consumed by darkness. This was how the village that posed many riddles to the police, the relatives of locals, as well as the general public, greeted by our correspondents. Where did all the people go? Just yesterday, this place was full of life. The village depopulated in a heartbeat, in a single night, as if hundreds of people conspired to leave their homes at the same time. Without leaving any hints or traces, they disappeared, dissolved into thin air. Locals of the neighboring villages refused to give us any comments and just kept on sprinkling salt on their porches outside of fear, a paganistic method of protecting oneself from evil. Looking at the empty streets, one might start to believe that the most outrageous theories. And if one was also to listen to the shuffling taiga forest that surrounds the dead village, even the most ardent atheists would be compelled to cross themselves. So people just randomly disappeared. Okay, y'all. The endings we've done 4 endings. We did the hunting season. We did Shadows of the Night. I think that's what it's called. We did Apocalypse Now. And then we just finished. I'm already forgetting the name and I just looked at it, bro. Lost in the Night. Jesus Christ. Well, those are endings. Apocalypse Now. I see what you were saying, Chatilla. That was crazy. Yeah, this is interesting because like, I don't know. I guess it confirms a lot of the issue or the theories about the whole folklore and the story behind the bunny. And, you know, when you bite this moon, you consume the power and then you connect the power into the other animals or whatever. I don't know how it works, but like after biting the moon and fully like distributing the power, that everyone gets the ability to eat everything else and get more stronger and bigger and ravage the world and the whole universe. It's very grim and dark. And that was probably the most unsettling ending. I think there's a good balance of like obviously trying to make sure that, you know, you're really convinced that you're in this horrific situation where there's monster creatures trying to eat you. But like, I don't know. I guess depending on how you played and depending on how you go about it, you could get the wrong ending. But like that time, I guess you fully fulfilled the mission of what they wanted you to do, which is become the bunny. But I guess in like Love Recipe, you could become the bunny, but you don't bite the moon. So I don't know what's the distinction between this ending, the Apocalypse Now, and then this one. And I guess when you fully like accept yourself, you go bite into the moon, and then you become like everything turns into color, as if you're trying to escape reality. But really, when you see the reality of what's going on, it's all dark and grim and black and white, and you see these animal creatures devouring and eating people. But I'm trying to see how this even correlates with the killer too. Like, it just feels like the killer and the whole plot line with Boris and Karina, like in the past of Boris, almost feels like it's uncorrelated with the story. Like, how does this tie into the creatures? Like, how does he directly tie into the creatures in the because like it just seems like, oh well, this is just Boris's past. Obviously Karina being the previous bunny and her running away, not accepting the fate of the bunny and trying to like start a new family. This explains why they even have the power of the bunny, or at least the power to like become the bunny themselves, Anton and Oya. But then it's like, I'm also wondering, is this the same for all the other animal creatures? I thought if you put on the mask, you turn into it, but is it just like whoever's direct bloodline to the creatures, you have the next ability to become the next creature? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it answers a lot of the questions. Again, like the same situation to me. It seems like it answers a lot of the theories that we were confirming or trying to theorize about. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, if you become the full bunny by like accepting and biting into the moon, you're becoming into that bunny form. So I'm assuming the bunny that we've seen when we go with Polina or Katya's route, that's the bunny of like before Karina, or is that Karina? I don't know. Like, that's where it's like, it gets weird and confusing to me, where it's like, am I supposed to believe that even what happened with Katya, is that still a dream? Is that still a part of my dreams? And then the bunnies and the creatures are still reality still? Or like, that's the part where I'm just like, what is the explanation? A lot of these endings seem like they're like grim and dark, and they answer a few of the puzzle pieces, but I feel like it don't fully still connect everything together. And I'm wondering, especially with doing like, I guess 14 endings so far, is everything supposed to make sense? Or are we supposed to just leave it up to viewer interpretation? Are we supposed to just figure it out ourselves? I don't know. I think it's cool that we're seeing all this interesting content. At the same time, I can't deal with that gore, bro. That gore is disgusting, bro. Like, bro, I don't know how long they took them to do all of that, but like, definitely not my favorite ending. But like I said, I feel like Mad World, it may not be the most best ending or the most comfortable ending, but it's like, it just makes the most sense, bro. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but I guess with the next endings, we got 6 more endings, I believe. Because someone told me that Ramka, when Ramka killed us in episode 4, that was not an ending. So I guess we technically have 6, we don't have 5. Or actually, technically we have 7. Am I wrong on this? Y'all let me know. How many endings do we have left? I think we have 7, right? If Teen Murderer is not an ending. Either way, I'm gonna let y'all cook in the comment section. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Do you disagree or agree with my takes? I think the next endings, we're gonna try to, I saw in Tritila's comment and even the other ending guides that you guys sent me, that we need to go figure out Polina's route. We gotta do Polina's route this time and figure out the endings with her. I have a feeling it's gonna even be more crazier. So I can't wait to see what they cooked up, and hopefully maybe the next part might be the last part, depending on how the other external content that you guys want me to do. But yeah, we gotta take a Tiny Bunny break, bro. We've been pumping too many Tiny Bunny videos. Either way, that's it. Y'all stay safe, keep your headspace strong, and I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.